Every empire that ruled the world did one thing first. They controlled the shortcuts. The Suez Canal, the Panama Canal. Now Russia wants the next one, a 700-kilometer scar carved through southern Russia, a $20 billion gamble, a single canal that could unlock the Caspian Sea, reroute global trade, and redraw the balance of power between Europe and Asia. But this shortcut comes with enormous risks, political tension, environmental danger, and a price so high it could collapse the dream entirely. Stay with me, because whether this canal gets built could change the future of global trade forever. The story starts with the Caspian Sea. On a map, it looks enormous, bigger than many countries, packed with oil, gas, grain, metals, and industrial potential. But the Caspian has one brutal weakness. It's landlocked, no direct access to the world's oceans, no open maritime route to Europe, Africa, or global trade lanes. For decades, Caspian countries like Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Azerbaijan, Iran, and Russia have relied on a single outdated escape route, the Volga-Don Canal. It was built in 1952 during the Soviet era for ships that would look tiny by today's standards. Its depth is just a few meters, too shallow for modern cargo vessels, too narrow for large-scale container traffic. In today's economy, that's a disaster. It's like trying to run global trade through a one-lane rural road. Pipelines exist, but they're expensive, politically risky, and vulnerable. Railways help, but they can't compete with the sheer efficiency of maritime shipping. So for years, Central Asia has been sitting on enormous wealth with no clean way to move it. That's where the Eurasia Canal comes in. Instead of upgrading the old Soviet canal, planners proposed something far more ambitious. A completely new deep water corridor capable of handling modern cargo ships, carved across a natural lowland in southern Russia known as the Kumamanik Depression. This route would directly link the Caspian Sea to the Black Sea, and from there ships could pass through the Bosphorus, enter the Mediterranean, and reach the rest of the world. No shallow drafts, no outdated locks, no Soviet-era bottlenecks, just a modern, ocean-capable waterway cutting straight across Eurasia. If completed as planned, the canal could handle vessels carrying 10 to 15,000 tons of cargo. That's nearly triple what the current route allows. Annual capacity could reach 100 million tons. That would instantly place it among the most important canals on Earth. Ports like Aktau, Astrakhan, and Turkmenbashi could transform into major international logistics hubs. Goods could flow directly from Central Asia to Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. Oil, gas, grain, steel, fertilizers, industrial materials, all moving faster, cheaper, and with fewer political choke points. For Kazakhstan, this canal would mean something even bigger. Independence from geography. For the first time, it could export directly to global markets without relying on neighbors, pipelines, or fragile overland routes. For Russia, the canal represents modernization, transit revenue, and strategic leverage over a new trade artery. And for China, the appeal is obvious. The Eurasia Canal would slot perfectly into the Belt and Road Initiative, creating a powerful westward shipping route that bypasses congested seas and unstable regions. But building this canal isn't remotely simple. Southern Russia may look flat on a map, but the engineering challenges are enormous. The Caspian Sea sits below sea level. The Black Sea does not. That means water flow has to be carefully controlled at all times. Too much water, and you risk flooding massive areas. Too little, and the canal becomes unusable. To solve this, engineers would need massive lock systems, giant pumping stations, artificial reservoirs, and constant monitoring. Ships would essentially be lifted and lowered like elevators as they move across the landscape. Then there's the soil. Parts of the region are prone to salinization and erosion. If not reinforced properly, canal banks could collapse over time. Modern solutions would involve concrete linings, geotextile fabrics, and extensive stabilization work across hundreds of kilometers. And that's before accounting for bridges, tunnels, service roads, power supply, navigation systems, and environmental protection zones. In reality, this isn't just a canal, it's a 700-kilometer-long strip of continuous infrastructure. Almost a linear city built purely for trade. That's why the price tag is so high. Official estimates put the cost at around $20 billion. But in the world of megaprojects, that's just a starting number. By the time construction ends, real costs could climb to $30 or even $40 billion. Construction alone would take over a decade and require tens of thousands of workers. So the big question is simple: who pays? Russia supports the idea, but financial pressure and sanctions limit its options. Kazakhstan desperately wants the canal, but lacks the capital to fund it. That leaves China. Chinese banks have the money. Chinese construction firms have the experience. And China has a long history of funding infrastructure that secures long-term influence. But that possibility triggers serious geopolitical tension. Iran and Azerbaijan worry the canal would strengthen Russia's dominance in the Caspian region. Turkey knows every ship leaving the canal must still pass through Turkish-controlled straits, preserving its leverage. And European countries are divided between seeing opportunity and seeing risk. Then there's the environment. Southern Russia is ecologically sensitive. Changing water flows could damage wetlands, fisheries, and farmland. A small mistake in water management could lead to desertification or permanent ecosystem damage. Once a canal of this scale is built, there's no undo button. That's why environmental studies have slowed progress and fueled criticism. Even supporters admit the risks are real. And yet, despite all the obstacles, the idea refuses to die. Because the potential payoff is massive. If the Eurasia Canal opens, it could create entirely new economic zones along its route. Ports, factories, logistics centers, and industrial hubs could rise where open steppe once stood. Jobs would follow, investment would follow, and Central Asia would finally gain a direct voice in global trade. But for now, the canal remains unbuilt. As of today, not a single shovel has hit the ground. The project is still stuck in feasibility studies, political discussions, and financial negotiations. Optimistic timelines suggest completion sometime in the late 2030s or 2040s if everything aligns. And that's a huge if. Global trade is changing. Energy markets are shifting. Climate change is rewriting coastlines. Political alliances are unstable. By the time the canal is finished, the world could look very different. So the Eurasia Canal sits at a crossroads. It could become one of the defining megaprojects of the modern era, a waterway that reshapes Eurasia and connects continents. Or it could remain what it is today, a bold, expensive dream, talked about by politicians, debated by experts, but never carved into the earth. And that's the real question. Will this be the next Suez Canal? Or just another line on a map that never became reality?